let's dive right in. Forget trying to predict the future with some crystal ball, because here's the thing. The future of business isn't some far-off concept anymore. It is happening right now. Today, we're cracking open the 2025 playbook, and we're going to give you the exact strategic moves you need to be making, all based on a really comprehensive new trends report. Let's get to it.
You know, this quote just absolutely nails it. For years, we've been hearing about how things like AI and the creator economy were emerging. Well, guess what? They've emerged. In 2025, these aren't just theories you can afford to ignore anymore. They are the core operational reality of how you build.
All right, let's dive right in. Forget trying to predict the future with some crystal ball, because here's the thing. The future of business isn't some far-off concept anymore. It is happening right now. Today, we're cracking open the 2025 playbook, and we're going to give you the exact strategic moves you need to be making, all based on a really comprehensive new trends report. Let's get to it.
You know, this quote just absolutely nails it. For years, we've been hearing about how things like AI and the creator economy were emerging. Well, guess what? They've emerged. In 2025, these aren't just theories you can afford to ignore anymore. They are the core operational reality of how you build, how you market, and how you scale a business, period. So, with all this change, how do you even begin to navigate it? Well, the good news is we can boil all these huge trends down into three fundamental pillars. I want you to think of it like the new operating system.
All right, let's dive right in. Forget trying to predict the future with some crystal ball, because here's the thing. The future of business isn't some far-off concept anymore. It is happening right now. Today, we're cracking open the 2025 playbook, and we're going to give you the exact strategic moves you need to be making, all based on a really comprehensive new trends report. Let's get to it.
You know, this quote just absolutely nails it. For years, we've been hearing about how things like AI and the creator economy were emerging. Well, guess what? They've emerged. In 2025, these aren't theories you can afford to ignore anymore. They are the core operational reality of how you build, how you market, and how you scale a business, period. So, with all this change, how do you even begin to navigate it? Well, the good news is we can boil all these huge trends down into three fundamental pillars. I want you to think of it like the new operating system for your business in 2025. Let's break that down. Okay, so it all starts with pervasive AI. And let me be clear, AI isn't a cool new feature anymore. It's the new electricity. It's the infrastructure powering everything you do. But you know, all that power, it attracts attention, and that leads to pillar two, regulation and trust. Governments are stepping in, and your customers are demanding security. That means compliance is now a core product feature. And wrapping all this up is the distributed creator economy, this massive global network of talent that you have to tap into if you want to compete. And inside that AI pillar, there's a key term you really need to get familiar with: agentic AI. I mean, forget just generating some text or picture. We're talking about AI that can actually act. These are systems that automate entire workflows, from doing your sales follow-ups to generating code, all without you giving it step-by-step instructions. This is where the real serious operational leverage in 2025 is going to come from. And if you think these are still fringe technologies, take a look at this. We are now seeing major Swiss banks. I'm not talking about startups. I'm talking about banks using public blockchains for actual binding payments. This isn't just speculation anymore, folks. This signals a huge shift where these tools are being used for serious, real-world applications, like making affiliate payouts way faster or creating entirely new revenue models. Okay, so that's the big picture. But what does all of this actually mean for your day-to-day strategy? And maybe more importantly, what does it mean for your bottom line? Let's get into what this new strategic reality looks like for you. You've got to understand that every single one of these trends is a two-sided coin. On one side, you've got these amazing opportunities, exponential leverage from AI, access to global talent. But on the other side of that same coin, you've got serious risks, like crippling compliance penalties or just shocking compute costs that come out of nowhere. The truth is, you simply cannot get the upside here without actively managing the downside. Let's make this really real for a second. Picture a SaaS founder. They've integrated a powerful new AI feature into their product. The customers absolutely love it, right? But behind the scenes, the compute costs, the price they pay to run that powerful AI model every single time a user makes a query are skyrocketing. It's totally eating into their margins and honestly threatening the viability of the whole product. And trust me, this is a problem that is happening everywhere right now. So how did they fix it? Well, they got smart. They didn't just keep using some massive general-purpose AI. No. Instead, they switched to smaller, specialized models that were trained to do their one exact task. And the result? A staggering 60% drop in cost per query. It's a perfect example of how making a strategic adaptation is what's going to protect your bottom line in this new world. Look, understanding all these trends is one thing, but actually acting on them, that's a whole other ballgame. So what should you do on Monday morning? Let's translate all this strategy into a concrete 30-day plan you can start using immediately to build your foundation. Here are your first 3 moves. Number 1, audit your AI. You cannot control what you don't measure, so you need to map out every single AI feature, every data source, and every cost associated with it. Second, run a security check. This is totally non-negotiable. Mandate 2-factor authentication across the board. And third, take a hard look at your affiliate terms. Your partners are crucial, so make sure your payout rules are crystal clear and maybe even explore ways to pay them faster. It's all about gaining visibility and control right now. And hey, look how simple building trust can be. This right here is called a model card. It's not a bunch of legal jargon, it's just a plain language statement that tells your users exactly how you use AI. You can literally copy this template, fill in your details, and post it on your website today. This one small step is a giant leap for transparency and building real customer trust. So we've got the trends, and we have a plan. But the final piece of the puzzle isn't really about tactics, it's about mindset. To truly thrive in this new environment, you need to operate with these new rules baked right into your company's DNA. So the real question is, are you ready for that? On a quick diagnostic, just ask yourself these questions, a quick yes or no. Do you have an AI inventory? Are your compute costs actually baked into your pricing model? Do you have a documented incident response plan for when things go wrong? And can you pay your partners in under 30 days? Be honest with yourself. If you answered no to more than one of these, you have some urgent work to do. Because ultimately, that is what it all comes down to. The landscape has fundamentally changed. The new operating system is installed, and the playbook is right here, in your hands. The only question left is, are you ready to get on the field and actually run the plays?
All right, today we are diving deep into the OnPassive platform to take a look at its brand new financial system. We're going to break down exactly how it all works, from getting a refund to earning commissions, all based on what the platform itself has explained. So let's get right into it.
First, just think about this for a second. How does a massive global platform actually manage money for people in over 200 different countries? I mean, you've got all these different currencies, completely different banking laws, not to mention the constant risk of fraud. It's an incredibly complex puzzle, and that's really the core problem this new OnPassive system was built to solve.
Okay, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll get into why a new system was even necessary. Then, we'll walk through the nuts and bolts of refunds and commissions. After that, we're going to look at the tech that makes it all happen, the digital wallet and passport. And to wrap it all up, we'll talk about the big picture vision behind it all, fairness and security.
Right, so Section 1, why build a whole new system from the ground up? Well, to really get why this new approach is such a big deal, you first have to understand the old problems it was designed to fix. It's really that classic story of moving from something super complex to something clean and streamlined.
And this slide really lays out the night and day difference. In the past, users were dealing with payout delays, they had to go through confusing manual requests, and there was no way to actually track their earnings in real time. The new system tackles every single one of those issues, swapping out those slow manual steps for a process that's automated, instant, and totally transparent.
So, what does this new streamlined approach look like in practice? Well, let's start with something that's super important for any user, getting your money back. This whole next section is about the new refund process.
The whole thing has basically been boiled down to these 4 automated steps. You submit a request, the system instantly verifies it's you, it checks the request against platform policies, and bam, the money is released. No more endless back and forth emails or waiting around for someone to manually approve things.
And what's the result of all that automation? Speed. Most refund requests are now getting processed in just 24 to 48 hours. That kind of turnaround is a direct result of how this new system was designed.
Okay, so we've gone from getting money back to making money. Section 3 is all about how
commissions are earned. And the key phrase to remember here is real-time rewards. That phrase tells you pretty much everything you need to know about the philosophy here. So the way earnings are structured is pretty straightforward. You've got three tiers. First, there are direct commissions, which you get from your own personal referrals. Then you have team commissions, which are based on how your whole network is performing. And finally, there are bonus pools, which are basically special incentives for the top performers.
Now, this is the really crucial point. It doesn't matter which tier the earnings come from, they all flow directly and instantly into your digital wallet. There's no more waiting for a weekly or monthly payout. The second you earn it, it's yours. And that, of course, leads us right to
the engine that's powering this entire system, the digital wallet and its security features. This section is all about the core technology, called OWallet and OVerify, that actually makes all of these instant and secure transactions possible. The easiest way to think about the OWallet is like it's your own personal bank, right inside the OnPassive ecosystem. It's the central hub where all your money, whether it's from commissions or refunds, is held securely. And from there, you're the one in control. You decide what happens next.
Let's use a real-world example they gave. Say there's a user named Mary in Canada, and she earns a $500 commission. That money lands instantly in her OWallet. She then decides, okay, I'm going to transfer $300 of that to my personal bank account, and I'll keep the other $200 right here in my OWallet to pay for my next subscription upgrade. It just shows the kind of flexibility you have to manage your own funds.
So you're probably asking, how is all of this kept secure? That is where OVerify comes into play. And the source material uses this perfect analogy. OVerify acts like a high-tech digital passport. Every single important financial action, like trying to withdraw money, requires this passport to prove you are who you say you are. It's a fantastic way to make sure only you can ever access your funds.
And that brings us to our final section, the vision. You see, all of these features we've just talked about, the speed, the automation, the security, they aren't just technical bells and whistles. They're all built on top of a core philosophy of fairness and security. The entire system is really built on these three pillars. You've got security, which is handled by things like AI and biometrics. You've got transparency, thanks to those real-time dashboards where you can always see exactly what's happening with your money. And you've got compliance, which means it follows major international financial rules so it can operate legally all over the world. So, to wrap it all up, the stated goal here is pretty simple, but it's also really ambitious: to create a financial ecosystem that is faster, fairer, and more secure for every single user on the platform, no matter where in the world they happen to be. And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. As more and more of our financial lives happen online, it raises a much bigger question for all of us, doesn't it? What new standards for things like speed, transparency, and security should we, as users, start demanding from every single platform we use? Thanks for tuning in.
All right, let's peel back the curtain on those massive corporate announcements. You know the ones I'm talking about. The huge town halls, the live updates, the big presentations. We're going to break down the strategy behind it all.
So have you ever sat through one of those for an hour, maybe more, and by the end, you're just lost? You're left wondering, okay, what was the signal and what was just noise? It feels like you're trying to drink from a fire hose, right?
But here's the secret. It's not random. Not at all. There is a method to the madness. These announcements follow a pretty predictable structure, a playbook. And by the time we're done here, you're going to have the decoder ring. So first up, let's talk about the why. Specifically, the timing. You ever notice these big reveals often happen right after some major company celebration, like an anniversary or a founder's birthday? Well, that is definitely not a coincidence. It's all about momentum. I mean, think about it. The company uses all that positive energy from the celebration to pivot everyone's focus forward. It's the absolute perfect moment to set the agenda for the future, reveal what's next, and get everyone re-energized and optimistic. It's a totally strategic move to keep that hype train rolling. Okay, so now that we get the why behind the timing, let's break down the what. What exactly are they packing into these long, detailed updates? Let's dive in.
If you look at a typical 100-minute broadcast, how they slice up that time tells you everything about their priorities. Notice this: a full quarter of the time goes to product and roadmap, the tangible stuff, and another whole quarter is dedicated to vision. The rest gets split up. This isn't just an agenda. It's a giant flashing sign pointing to where they want you to focus. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. First, you're going to hear about product updates, new features, better dashboards, you name it. Then they'll lay out a roadmap. and hopefully as real dates because everybody craves certainty. After that comes the business stuff, changes to compensation, new pricing, and finally they'll talk about growth, expanding into new markets or announcing new partnerships. But wait, there's more. The second half of this playbook is all about the support system. Training, events, better customer service, and this next part is crucial. They'll touch on governance. This is where they talk about system stability or fixing past mistakes to build trust. You'll probably see some special offers thrown in to sweeten the pot. And it almost always wraps up with a big dose of vision motivation, reminding everyone why they're on this ride together.
Okay, we've covered the why and the what, but now we get to the most important question of all. So what? How does any of this actually affect you? Well, every single announcement is a double-edged sword. On one side, you've got massive opportunity, the promise of new tools, clear timelines, special offers. But on the other side, you've got very real risks, buggy launches, delayed features, and unexpected costs. The real key here is knowing how to navigate this balance between the promise and the pitfalls. And that brings us to the most important part. What do you do with all this information? To maximize those opportunities and minimize the risks, you absolutely need a proactive plan. So let's build one. This quote really hits the nail on the head. Passively listening to an announcement just isn't enough. The real value, the real advantage comes from being proactive, not reactive. You've got to have a plan.
So here it is, your 6-step action plan. 1, stay tuned and verify. Get your info from official sources, not from rumors. 2, plan ahead. Align your own work with their launch dates. 3, document and measure. You have to track your starting point so you can tell what's actually working. 4, engage. Give feedback. Help them shape the tools you use. 5, budget for risk, because trust me, delays happen. And finally, number 6, leverage their momentum. Use all their marketing buzz to amplify your own message.
Okay, one last thing, and this is a big one. In any major announcement, there's always a mix of real substance and, well, sizzle. The final skill is learning how to separate genuine progress from aspirational hype.
So use this as your mental checklist. Are they giving you specific, concrete dates, or is everything just vaguely coming soon? Are they showing you a live demo or just a bunch of pretty screenshots? Do they actually admit to any known issues? Is there a real support system in place, like help desk? And are the pricing terms crystal clear? Asking these questions will help you gauge how solid these announcements really are. So now you have the playbook. You know the strategy, the content, the risks, and the action plan. The next time you're sitting in that big town hall or watching that live update, you're not just going to be a passive observer. You're going to be a decoder. So what's the first thing you'll be listening for? Okay, so when you think birthday, probably think cake, presents, the usual stuff, right? Well, what if a birthday could be something bigger, like a company's most important strategic event of the year? That's exactly what we're digging into today, how one global community takes its CEO's birthday and turns it into this massive, powerful tool to push their mission forward. And really, it all comes down to this one big question. How in the world does a personal celebration become a strategic milestone for a global community? We're going to break down how they take what's normally a simple event and just transform it into an engine for renewing purpose, strengthening belief, and sparking action all over the planet. All right, let's get right into it. The first thing you have to wrap your head around is that for this community, a birthday is, well, it's not just a birthday. It's way, way more than that. So this whole event is basically framed as having some serious symbolic power. I mean, forget the cake and candles for a second. Think of it more like a strategic timeout. It's a moment for the entire community all at once to just pause, reflect, realign with their goals, and get totally re-energized for the mission ahead. So you're probably wondering, who is this leader? And what's the company at the very center of all this? The company is called OnPassive, and from what we can see, it's a seriously ambitious project. They're creating this whole ecosystem of AI-powered tools. The grand vision here? To build a brand new digital infrastructure that could totally change the game for how entrepreneurs do business. So this all kicked off back in 2018. And in the years since, it's ballooned into this global community of members they call founders. These are the people who have really bought into this big vision of a future that's completely powered by integrated AI. And the CEO's leadership? It's really positioned as the engine behind everything. There's this one quote that says it all. It symbolizes boldness and audacity. It's that belief in his vision that seems to be the glue holding it all together, convincing the whole community that, yeah, this huge technological shift is actually possible.
Okay, so how does a party actually do all that? How does it create this incredible sense of unity? Well, it all comes down to the impact it has on the community members, those founders we mentioned.
First off, you gotta understand the sheer scale of this thing. We are not talking about a little office party with a sheet cake. This is a massive global network of founders. We're talking people in Dubai, in India, across Africa, and the Americas. So the celebration acts as this one single unifying event for everyone, everywhere. And this is where it gets really fascinating, psychologically speaking. The event is literally described as an affirmation of belief. Think about that. It's a dedicated moment to double down, to reinforce everyone's faith in the vision, and to remind every single founder, hey, this is why you signed on to this crazy ambitious project in the first place. You know, these celebrations are also very cleverly designed to build real, powerful, emotional bonds. They have these rituals like everyone sharing messages and making videos. It all works to make members feel like they're part of a global family. It's a powerful way to make sure nobody feels like they're in this alone.
But wait, it's not all just feel-good celebrations. This is where it gets really interesting. This moment is also used to look at the tough stuff, to confront real-world challenges head-on. So yeah, it all kicks off by getting everyone grounded in that core belief, that shared vision. But then,
It takes a hard pivot. The celebration is also a time to openly acknowledge the really difficult things, the legal and operational hurdles the company is actually up against. And we're not talking about vague problems here. This reflection gets into specific, really serious challenges. For example, the source notes that founders are aware of regulatory scrutiny from groups like the SEC. So the birthday becomes this moment to face those realities together, out in the open. And all of this leads to a pretty powerful call to action. It's basically saying, okay, founders, your job goes way beyond just believing. They're being pushed to turn that inspiration into actual daily action, to hold the ecosystem accountable, to be the guardians of the community's integrity, and to jump in and help co-create its future. So you combine all this belief with this new sense of accountability. Where does that lead? Well, let's talk about the future. This is where that birthday celebration transforms into a genuine launchpad for action. It's not just a party. It's a strategic moment they use to roll out product announcements, kick off mentorship programs, launch charity campaigns, and even host technical events like hackathons. It's all happening. And look, if they can actually harness all that energy in the right way, the potential payoffs are huge. We're talking about renewed energy to get products out the door, a much more tight-knit global community, a better public image, and a real chance for the leadership to solidify that trust. And this really brings us to the absolute core of it all. The celebration itself isn't the point. Its real power is in what happens after the party's over. It's designed to be a springboard to launch the entire community into this next phase of focused, inspired action. So that leaves us with one final, pretty big thought to chew on. What we've looked at here is a powerful model for building a community, one that's built on a massive vision. It makes you ask a really crucial question. When a community is fueled almost entirely by belief, what's the glue that actually holds it all together? Is it just the inspiration? Is it the execution of the plan? Or is it something deeper, the shared responsibility that every single member of that
Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving into something that really made some waves recently. A big 100-minute global online event. Left people pretty stunned, actually.
Yeah, generated a lot of chatter. You don't often see that kind of runtime for an internal update call.
Exactly. So our deep dive today is all about OnPassive. Specifically, this mega Zoom call they had.
Right, the one with the CEO, Ash Mufareh, and other key names like Julie Wen, Mike Ellis, Marty DeGarmo, Redfern.
And founders from all...
from the get-go. You know, in the tech world, when the CEO makes a personal appearance and says something that a deliberate move to grab attention.
Right, and he didn't wait around. Straight into the updates. First up, the OnPassive Ecosystem 2.0 claimed it's not just functional, but flawless. Big words.
Flawless is ambitious. What specifics did he give?
Okay, so OWallet, now globally compliant apparently, and rolling out with instant withdrawal systems.
Global compliance and instant withdrawals, that's crucial for any kind of digital wallet aiming for wide adoption. Addresses trust issues head on.
Definitely. And then OConnect. This one's wild. Scale to support 500,000 attendees.
500,000 concurrently.
Yep. With, and get this, near zero lag.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. Near zero lag for 500,000 users. That's technically massive. We're talking top-tier streaming platform level, not just a meeting tool.
That's what Mike Ellis seemed to think. He called it a quantum leap. Said he was speechless. For an expert like him to say that?
Well, yeah. Achieving that kind of stability at that scale requires some serious back-end infrastructure. Distributed networks, optimized protocols. It's non-trivial, puts them in, like you said, not just Zoom, but major event broadcasters.
And there was O-Magic, too, described as AI-driven marketing, where the user basically does nothing.
AI-driven marketing without lifting a finger sounds appealing, but the devil's always in the details, isn't it? How autonomous is it, really?
True. But the overall picture was this huge upgrade. And speaking of huge, the numbers got even bigger when he talked about users and money.
The commission side of things. Let me guess, big promises.
You could say that. He said, we are injecting over 18 million verified clicks into the ecosystem. Described them as filtered, intelligent, targeted clicks.
Okay, verified clicks is interesting terminology in digital marketing. Suggests pre-qualified leads, not just raw traffic, which is more valuable, but 18 million.
Is a lot. And then came the kicker on commissions. He said, many will wake up to 6, 7, even 8-digit dashboards.
Whoa, 6, 7, 8 figures. So hundreds of thousands up to tens of millions.
That's what he said. What does that realistically suggest about their model? Can that many people actually hit those numbers?
That's the multi-million-dollar question, literally. For many users to see dashboards like that, it implies either an unbelievable volume of valuable transactions per user, or perhaps more likely, a financial model structured for significant payouts, maybe through some kind of network or tiered system. It definitely shifts the focus from just cool tech to a potentially massive wealth generation promise, raises questions about sustainability and how that value is actually created and distributed.
Right. Now, alongside these big promises, there was a focus on the early adopters, the founders.
Rewarding the pioneers. Standard practice, but what did they get?
Ash Mufareh made it clear their early belief is key. Legacy positions get priority commissions.
Makes sense. Give the early birds the best worms.
They also get early access to something called OCoin. Sounds like their own internal currency or token.
Possibly. A token for the ecosystem. And lifetime premium access to upcoming tools.
And crucially, someone from Kenya asked about payment issues. Ash confirmed they're using licensed global banking APIs. His words, no more frozen payments or blocked countries.
Okay, that's significant. Mentioning licensed global banking APIs isn't just fluff.
Why is that specific detail so important?
Because international payments are a nightmare. Regulations, fraud risks, different banking systems. It's complex. Using licensed APIs means integrating directly with established, secure financial networks. It's fundamental for reliable payouts, especially in regions that often face banking hurdles. Addresses a huge pain point.
Gotcha. So better tech, big money promises, founder protection. But then they unveiled more new stuff. Redfern brought up whispers of new AI tools.
And Ash delivered.
Totally. He announced OGenie, an AI assistant. Builds funnels, connects leads, speaks of 30 languages.
An AI funnel builder and lead connector speaking 30 languages. Okay, that sounds like it could be powerful. Competing with some established CRM AI features, maybe? The key is how well it actually works autonomously.
Then OTune, a personal AI radio broadcaster with built-in monetization.
AI radio with monetization. Interesting niche.
And maybe the biggest surprise, OJourney, an AI-powered travel and event app. Looks like they're jumping into the travel agency world.
Travel now too. Wow, the breadth is surprising. OGenie, OTune, OJourney. it paints a picture of wanting to embed their AI into lots of different areas, not just marketing tech.
Yeah, it really expanded the scope.
It suggests a strategy to create this all-encompassing ecosystem where their AI touches many parts of a user's life, both business and personal.
And remember Ash's comment about changing everything? He revealed why he'd been quiet lately. Big negotiations.
The reason behind the curtain, what was it?
A strategic tech alliance with a tier 1 cloud provider. Didn't name names yet, that's for the global launch. But he said this ensures unstoppable scalability.
The tier 1 cloud provider. So think AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, that level.
That's what it implies. Julie Wynn reacted saying, that explains the mysterious offline mode. You were rebuilding the engine.
Exactly. Partnering with a tier 1 provider is absolutely critical if you're aiming for the kind of global scale and user numbers they're talking about. It's about having that rock solid, globally distributed, hyper-scalable infrastructure. You can't fake that.
So that underpins the huge user numbers, the zero-leg streaming.
Precisely. It's the foundation. Without that kind of partnership, claims of unstoppable scalability for a platform planning that kind of reach would be, well, questionable.
Makes sense. And the expansion isn't just digital, they're going physical too.
Physical centers, where?
Dubai is already open, but also Nairobi, Singapore, Berlin, expanding in Hyderabad and Toronto. Weekly live trainings, AI expos, support hubs.
Interesting. A physical footprint in key global hubs creates a tangible presence.
And digitally, they're launching what they call the O-Media revolution. New digital broadcasting licenses acquired.
Okay.
They're launching the OnPassive global broadcast channel. 24/7 content, AI stuff, founder interviews, success stories, education.
A dedicated media channel, that's a big commitment.
Plus, every founder gets access to a creator studio with monetization.
So, blending physical support hubs with a global digital media presence and user-generated content tools, that's quite a strategy.
Yeah. How so?
Well, the physical centers build local trust and provide direct support. The 24/7 channel keeps the global community engaged and informed constantly. And the Creator Studio encourages participation. It's a dual approach to build both tangible community and widespread digital engagement.
And the grand finale announcement, the absolute peak of the call.
Let me guess, a big event.
The OnPassive Global Festival, July 24th, 2025, in Dubai.
2025, planning way ahead.
Streamed to over 100 countries.
Yeah.
Ash promised fireworks, live dashboards showing results, millionaire announcements.
Millionaire announcements,
What?
live on stage, presumably.
Seems like it. And something no company has done before. Mike Ellis chimed in, this has got to break the internet.
Okay, a massive global festival like that.
Right.
It's pure spectacle, but it's also strategic. It's designed to be a huge public statement, generate massive buzz, project confidence, make their digital ambitions feel very real and tangible on a world stage, solidify the brand in a big way.
The whole call ended on a really high emotional note. Leaders sounded genuinely overwhelmed. Marty DeGarmo said, nothing comes close. You've changed lives, Ash.
Strong words from a veteran.
Redfern called it more than a business. It's a movement powered by intelligence and care. That movement language is interesting.
It is. That's shifting from just tech and business to something deeper, a mission, an ethos. It's about building loyalty, right? Making people feel part of something bigger.
How do companies usually balance that? The hard tech claims versus this softer community movement feeling?
It's a delicate balance. The tech needs to work, obviously. But framing it as a movement, using words like care, aims to create that emotional connection, that deep loyalty that goes beyond just using a product. It makes users feel invested, part of a shared journey. It's a powerful way to build a committed base if you can pull it off authentically.
Ash himself got emotional, thanking everyone, saying they're beyond launch mode now, and the founder's patience becomes their legacy.
Legacy.
His final words were pretty intense. You were not lucky, you were chosen. Let's change the world intelligently. Then the call ended with fireworks, animations, music, the works.
Wow. Chosen. That's quite a statement. It ties into the whole movement idea.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the big takeaways from this intense OnPassive session. We got the flawless ecosystem 2.0 reveal globally compliant O-Wallet, the technically ambitious 500K user, near zero lag O-Connect, and the hands-off AI O-Magic.
Right. Then the massive financial projections, 18 million verified clicks injected, and those potential 6, 7, even 8-figure commission dashboards. Huge numbers, raising questions about the underlying model.
Plus, the specific benefits for priority commissions, early OCoin access, lifetime premium tools, and that crucial confirmation of secure international payouts via licensed banking APIs.
Which is a major technical and regulatory hurdle clear, seemingly.
Then the surprise new AI tools, OGenie for multilingual funnel building, OTune for AI radio, and OJourney pushing into AI travel shows real breadth.
Diversifying the AI applications across their ecosystem.
And critically, that strategic alliance with a Tier 1 cloud provider, the foundation for their unstoppable scalability claims.
Absolutely essential for the scale they're aiming for.
We also saw the physical expansion plans, global centers for training and support, coupled with the O-Media revolution, a 247 global broadcast channel and creator studios for founders.
That dual physical-digital approach to building community and presence.
All building towards that grand finale. The OnPassive Global Festival in Dubai, July 2025, streamed globally, promising millionaire announcements and unprecedented spectacle.
A massive public statement event.
So, understanding all these pieces gives you, our listener, a pretty clear picture of OnPassive's massive ambition and the scope of what they just announced. It's a shortcut to getting up to speed on a major player making big moves in AI and digital ecosystems.
Definitely a lot to digest. Which leaves us with a final thought, perhaps. Given this incredibly ambitious scope, the integration of AI into so many areas, and that whole change the world intelligently ethos, what impact could a fully realized ecosystem like this, if it achieves its goals, actually have? Not just on specific traditional industries like marketing or travel, but maybe on how we even define a business or online platform in the future. Something to think about.
Today, we're digging into something pretty interesting, actually. It sits right where AI meets, well, digital money making. It's this concept of AI-driven traffic commissions, specifically as OnPassive Technologies presents it. Yeah, and our source material for this is quite extensive, a long, 100-minute chat with OnPassive CEO Ashmu Farah, plus a whole panel. Global affiliates, founders, digital economists, AI analysts. Yeah, quite the lineup. So our job today is to unpack what they're saying about using AI to, generate traffic, send it out, and maybe create passive income for people.
Exactly. And what really jumped out from that discussion is it's not just talking about leads in general like we usually hear. It's focused on a very specific structured system they claim delivers guaranteed targeted traffic. The core pitch seems to be the system does the heavy lifting, and you, the user, could potentially get paid without even talking to a customer directly.
Okay, let's break that down. AI traffic. What does that actually mean in this context? Sounds a bit futuristic.
Right. Well, the sources define it as using AI to really analyze how people behave online. It looks at location-based interests, patterns, and then it automatically sends real people, they stress, not bots, send them to specific links belonging to these founders.
So real people who are likely already interested.
That's the idea. People who genuinely might want the products or services linked there. They talk about machine learning, analyzing big data sets, online behavior, demographics, past buying habits. It's about building detailed profiles to predict who wants what, trying to make sure the traffic isn't just numbers, but really qualified leads.
And this is where it gets really different from, say, traditional affiliate stuff, right? Where you're always out there hunting for clicks.
Yeah, that's a key point they make. Instead of you chasing traffic, OnPassive, according to the sources, drives it to you.
And it follows up too.
Apparently so. The system is described as using AI, chat, emails, automated funnels, the works really to nurture those leads after they arrive.
Okay, so the AI finds the people, sends them over, even follows up. But the big question then is, how do you actually get paid? What's the commission structure look like?
It's described as having several layers. You get commissions when someone converts through your link. It could be a free sign up, a trial, a full purchase.
Okay.
The layers they mention are direct referrals, people you bring in, then commissions from their referrals, so kind of a second tier, and then this really interesting part called AI spillover.
AI spillover. So just random traffic landing in your lap?
Not quite random is how they explain it. It's more like the main system, they call it OES, the OnPassive Ecosystem Solution. The algorithm intelligently spreads out the general incoming traffic across all the founders.
Ah, okay, so it's meant to be more balanced than just relying on your own efforts.
That seems to be the goal, yeah. To make sure even people who aren't maybe natural marketers still get leads sent their way.
And how does the system keep track of all that? Direct referrals, second tier, this spillover? Sounds complicated.
They point to their OES 2.0 system. It supposedly tracks everything automatically. Doesn't matter, they say, if the traffic was organic, paid advertising, AI-driven, or this company-distributed spillover. If it lands under your user ID and that person converts, you earn a slice.
Now, very much like that passive income dream, doesn't it?
It does.
Did they give any, like, real-world examples in discussion, something to make it concrete?
They did. There was an anecdote from an African founding member, Emmanuel Nounjam. He talked about his experience during a beta testing phase. He said he got 186 traffic leads sent to him.
Okay.
And out of those, 42 apparently converted into something commissionable.
Without him doing anything directly.
That was his claim, yes. No personal marketing effort for those specific ones. And it resulted
I trust this. I believe in it. I am moving with a choice, my own choice. Nobody's forcing me to go along. Right? I'm talking to the public right now.
I appreciate you. I
But
appreciate
it's a mistake. It's a massive mistake. If
the
you're going
groom,
through
Charles
just
Osong here. Oh, that's not
out of
that's
curiosity,
another one. And yeah, of course, DeGarmo has many issues.
or
Not just
somebody told you to. I haven't seen any
All right,
creativity come
I hope
you
you're
know,
doing
from
good.
somebody
I
who's forced to do
apologize. I
a
wanted
job.
to come sooner, but the reason
course,
is because
any
I was
type of activities.
taking
The
time
best
to get some
success,
more details.
creativity,
and, I was
accomplishment.
the talent.
So we're all
I want to
clear
focus and
that we
underline
must
the
change.
word talent better
We're
than
all clear that
experience.
this change not going
Somebody
to be
could
the same
have
as the
30
past.
years
We're
experience
going to have
just
less
flipping
talk about
tacos or
specifics.
burger, whatever,
We
right?
can talk more about
Doesn't impress
things
me.
when
You're
they're
doing the same
there.
thing.
Now the question is, when do we move to the next phase?
Uncreative.
Okay.
You're not creative for 30 years. You should have
Very and sweet
a
to
new
the
level
point.
in
Okay. We wouldn't
taco
talk about the
industry.
next phase until completely detached
have
from
the
the
right
previous
caliber,
culture or
the
mentality
character,
or mindset.
the honesty, the integrity, the talent, creativity. That is a rare combination. People that get it
If you're in
quickly.
the same mentality 3 years ago,
Seamless
we're
progress.
not ready,
Right on time.
including
In
myself.
fact, a couple of occasions before time, ahead of time. That's how
I am
I give this level
in the
of
present
confidence.
now,
And this is why I'm really
have applied all the knowledge, all the
forward to what's
mistakes,
coming,
all
the
of
future,
that to
and
the
share
next,
that with
then
you.
we're good.
So the level of talent that we have
That's
is
one.
something
Second
really
thing
better
is,
than my dream. Really. So I really want you to rest assured
we
we've got the talent
are
to
not
take us
moving
where
to
we want to go
OnPassive
much
2.0.
faster than we thought before. Now things are making sense.
We're not
All right?
moving to a refurbished OnPassive.
So the other thing is
I said it last time. We
not only
don't have any commonality
the overall
between
position, we're in
OnPassive
in a perfect spot today
and
than
next chapter.
the last year
One
or
comment.
so. Not only that,
As of now,
but
you're not in
also
it.
because
Only
we have
actual
this
fire.
new
Only myself.
setup,
Not a line of code,
we're
not a
confident
big product or
that
office,
we're able
country,
to go to a higher ground
one
than we
single
previously thought
member.
in OnPassive.
None of that
That gives us the motivation. It gives us
has
the
moved or
excitement
will move
that yes,
to the next
now
chapter.
whatever we throw
Are we clear on that?
on at the table,
Now,
that
if you come
we're able
along,
to
you would say, yeah, we have
make it
OnPassive. We'll
happen.
come. So it was
Seamless.
you,
So
myself,
it's really
in
like a dream
a
come
different
true.
business.
That's
Are we
the
clear on
bottom
that? We will not
line. In
go to the
conclusion,
next chapter
not just failure is not an option. I can tell you, we got it.
until
We absolutely got it.
we
And
complete our case with the
that's
SEC.
it. There's no mystery. There's
Or-
not a question like, are we able to